Afternoon, guys. Well, good morning, good night, whenever you're watching. Welcome back after a multi-year hiatus. I don't know how long ago it was that we recorded one of these, but the Entoyment have opened up their brand new wargaming centre in Poole just a couple of weeks ago, so we've taken the opportunity to film another battle report to see if anyone's still watching. I've brought down my golden Custodes, and my brother Simon's brought down his Black Templars. So we're going to quickly run you through the list, then we'll talk you through the game and maybe talk to you a bit about the table and the terrain that we're using. So we'll start with my list. We have got 4 Witch Seekers by themselves, no friends. We have 5 Guard with Lord Inquisitor Draxus. We have a Caladius Grav Carrier with 5 the very abundantly seen Sagittarium Guard with Valerian. When I'm being sarcastic when I say abundantly seen. 4 Custodian Guard with an Inquisitor. 5 Custodian Guard with Trajan Valoris. 5 Wardens with a Blade Champion, and 4 Witch Seekers.
So this is the brand new supplement from Games Workshop. So it's the Black Templars. We are running the Gladius Task Force. So my list comprises of 6 characters. So we've got High Marshal Helbrecht. He's leading 5 Sword Brethren. We have a Judicia that's right there. He's leading another 5 Sword Brethren. A Castellan and a Marshal who's also leading 5 Sword Brethren. We have over here a generic Spaceman Captain with 4 Company Heroes. We've got a Land Raider Redeemer for redeeming stuff. We've got a Lancer Executioner, I think that's called. And then that's a Gladiator Lancer. And then just for objective play, we've got 2 units of Assault Intercessors. One is led by the Emperor's Champion. And then we've got 2 units of Scouts, just for more mission play. So that's the armies. We'll move over to the deployment phase and get the table all set up.
So we've deployed. We're playing Linchpin and Search and Destroy, so we're corners across the table. I've deployed, as you can see, I've put my tank on the flank here, got unit Custodian Guard with the Inquisitors here, Witch Seekers on my home objective. Wardens are within striking distance of a couple of options because they've got their advance and charge ability. Guard with Draxus sat there, and the Witch Seekers with Scout ready to move up the table a bit later on. Just to note, we're using GW mission terrain layouts today. Terrain supplied to us by Bandau War Games in Spain. Quite a cool little company and got some really nice terrain, so be sure to check them out. Not paid for us to say that, just doing it because it's good.
Okay, and then for me, just on the reserves front, I've got the Emperor's Champion in reserve with 5 Assault Intercessors. I'm going to take advantage of the +2 to charge. Then in the tanks, we've got the Judicia with the 5 Sword Brethren in the Repulsor Executioner, and then Helbrecht with 5 Sword Brethren, and then the Marshal and the Castellan with the other 5 Sword Brethren, all in the Redeemer. I've done my generic deployment where I keep the tanks behind the walls just to try and keep them safe turn 1, because the +1 to wound could hurt quite a lot. And then the Company Heroes are staged behind that wall to either go to the centre objective or the one over there, and then I've got my Scouts set up over there just in case I get some early objective secondary missions that I can do. So that's that. We're going to do the roll to see who goes first on camera, so let's go for it. I've rolled a 2
and a 3.
Nice, so Custodes get the first turn.
So that concludes my very brief turn. I drew Secure No Man's Land and a Tempting Target. This objective within No Man's Land was selected as a tempting target, so my Grav Carrier has advanced and has plonked itself exactly 9.5 inches away from both of Simon's Scouts, so they can't reactive move and take me off that. Secure No Man's Land, obviously I've got one there. The Wardens have also advanced up, and my Witch Seekers advanced up onto that objective as well. So I've actually got all 3, slightly overkill, but that is 10 points for the Custodes at the end of my battle round 1.
top of turn 1, I've just finished my turn with the Templars. So all the tanks have pushed up to get line of sight on the Coronis grav tank, and they successfully, to the last dice, managed to pop it, and the Sagittarium have disembarked and fled that way. I brought the scouts back in as my secondaries were tempting target and bring it down. So this one was made the tempting target. So I tried a 9-inch long bomb charge, but was not successful. The 5 Sword Brethren with the Judicia very bravely suicide bombed into the Wardens right there. Managed to take out a couple. And the scouts also helped take out one, but unfortunately the clapback was quite strong. Adam's popped his 4-up feel no pain on the Wardens there already, so that's good. At least one unit of Wardens has done that. I think that is, so that's that. So I currently only hold 1, Adam's holding 2 objectives, so we'll move on to turn 2 and see what happens next.
Right, so that's the end of my turn 2. I drew cleanse and extend battle lines. So my sisters stayed very still and cleansed this objective here and assisted with extend battle lines, getting me 2 points. The Wardens used a 1 CP strat on the centre. Well, they fell back from combat from the Judicia and a Sword Brethren, I think, and jumped onto the middle and had a couple of pot shots at this tank here, which actually did explode, and then the unit disembarked back into the Simon's home objective. Everything else sort of moved up, and so the Guard and the Sagittarium moved up and obliterated what's the follically challenged man called? Helbracht. Yeah, they obliterated Helbracht and friends, and actually Valerian finished off the tank here. So that was a decent little turn. This unit also moved up and shot twice into the tank, which is what did most of that damage. I scored 5 points for extend battle lines and 2 points for cleanse, and that is all that happened for me, but not a bad turn overall, because I also scored 13 on the primary, holding 2 of the no man's land objectives and the 3 for my home. So I will be up at the start of battle round 3, meaning Simon gets a little cheat card.
So my turn 2. Secondaries, I pulled Display of Might and Established Locus. So everything pushed up. I used the advance and charge tactic from the Gladius, so I've really pushed up to the mid-board. Unfortunately, so the Judicia charged up there with his other Sword Brethren. He got overwatched and lost his guy, so I actually didn't bother to charge there because Adam had enough CP to interrupt, so he's just stayed there. The Castellan and the Marshal got out of the Land Raider and dealt with the Guardians. However, Adam did the fight on death and was actually able to fight on death with every single Custodian Guard and the Inquisitor, so they actually picked up the majority of the squad that was left there. The Company Heroes went after the Sagittarium. However, the -1 AP from Valerian kept them alive, and they managed to drop 3 of the company heroes. Sorry,
3.5 of the
3.5. So that very bloody over there. The Emperor's Champion came in and practically one-shot the entire Custodian Guard squad, so that was really cool. The +2 to charge is really nice, and the re-rolls to win from the Assault Intercessors is great. Those scouts came over there just to do, was it cleanse? I think it was.
No,
Established Locust, sorry, yeah. And then finally, just over here, my scouts went and dealt with 3 of the 4 Witch Seekers, so that's good. They're holding that objective, which is cool. So at the moment, Adam is currently leading by a fair few points. So I'm currently behind enough to get a Challenger card, so that will be interesting. I've not had one of those yet. So yeah, that is the end of my turn.
So at the start of my turn, I only scored 3 points on the primary because my Wardens were holding the centre objective. Simon had annoyingly come and taken my home objective off me, so I just got 3 on the primary that turn. I drew no prisoners in assassination, which made my tactics nice and easy. The Wardens came over, they shot the Judicia, so that got me assassination very quickly. They then proceeded to charge the Land Raider and destroy it. My Trajan and his guard friends came back and got rid of the Emperor's Champion and the unit of assault intercessors that came with him, although they did fight on death and take three custodian guard away from him, which is a little bit annoying, but you know, these things happen. The old Valerian still just stood still, took the Space Marine captain and the man with the flag. They did absolutely nothing to him, and then he butchered them. So that was good. They took that back. So that scored me max on no prisoners and max on assassination for a 14-point turn. So not, I think 14? No, another 13-point turn. So not a terrible turn for the Custodes. But Simon will get a little cheeky challenger card in a minute, so that'll probably completely change the game.
I think I'll need it. Is the end of my turn 3. So it's not looking good for the Templars, I won't lie. Primary, I scored 8 victory points. I am behind by a considerable amount, so I got a challenger card, which was renewed focus. So I don't struggle to get the gimbal to focus. That is basically have one unit more than 15 away. So I've left my scouts over here on this objective. My doctrine, I went into the Devastator one, so I've moved my Lancer up there. I tried to advance him, but I only rolled a 1 and I only had the 1 CP, which I had to spend on auto passing with the scouts over there because I had
Behind enemy lines.
Behind enemy lines.
But then,
spoiler, but the 4 sisters managed to kill 2 scouts that remain, so I'm quite upset about that. The Sword Brethren, on a more positive note, managed to get rid of the Sagittarium and Valerian, so I'm happy about that. The Lancer did manage to kill 1 or 2 Wardens, so that's good. There's only those 2 Custodian Guard left there, and then my Assault Intercessors just camped out on the home objective, so looking very sparse in terms of the Templars on the table, but also the Custodians are also looking quite thin as well.
I've got 4 sisters, a unit of 3 and a unit of 2.
Yeah.
So there's not much left anyway.
What's the score at the moment, Adam? How far ahead are you?
Let me just take that off. It's currently 52-37.
Nice.
At the end of turn 3.
Yeah, so Custodes are steamrolling ahead, but their dead pile is growing, but so is mine. So we'll move on to the turn 4 and see what happens next.
Cool. So very short term for me, as I have very, very few models left. So the sisters have advanced back onto my home objective. My Custodian Guard are just hiding in here. I don't think we'll be seeing much of those the rest of the game, to be honest with you. And the Wardens used their once per game ability to advance and charge, as we hadn't used it yet, and took the 5 Assault Intercessors off, receiving 1 wound in return. So they've taken the home objective off the Black Templars, which is probably a better long term. I drew Defend Stronghold and Establish Locus. I've started Defend, which will complete at the end of Simon's turn 4. And Establish Locus I probably will keep, because I'll be on your home objective shortly, so may as well just keep it. But that's it. At the end of my turn 4, it's currently 58-37. So, Simon's turn 4 to follow.
That is the end of Black Templars turn 4, and it's a sad, sad day. So the Lancer that was gunning for the middle objective did a 360 and then went back for these Wardens there. I shot it with all of my guns, didn't get a single thing through, which was frustrating. So I went for a tank shock, and unfortunately I only did one mortal wound. So I failed to do that, and then just to make things even worse, between the Blade Champion and the Vexilla, they managed to explode the Lancer. So boo. Oh, that sucks. Sword Brethren have changed their role, so they're now just sitting on objectives. They're not fighting anymore. My scouts that have been on this objective for the entire game, come on Gimbal, they have just stayed there, racking me up points, which is good. And that is it. So my challenger card was all in, which was basically have a unit 18 away from anything else. So again, those scouts have been super, but that is it. Really not looking good. I mean, I have 2 units left on the table, so yeah,
So do I.
not the best.
It's 2-2.
Yeah, but yours are gold and mine are all murky black and not really.
And one of them's unit scouts.
Don't knock scouts, all right?
Actually, I have 3 units left on the table.
What's the current score?
Well, I've done that annoying thing where I've scouted on ahead. But
Oh, that's all right.
just.
What's the current score anyway? So this is start of turn 5. What's the current score?
It is currently 58-47. So there's only 11 points in it.
Is that with my primary score for next
Yeah.
turn as well?
No, it's not with your primary score.
Okay.
58. So there's 11 points in it, going into turn 5.
So I could bring it back. Thanks
could happen.
to the challenger cards. Okay, well let's see what happens. That is the end of my turn and the end of the game. My secondaries were, unfortunately, pretty much impossible to score. So I got area denial, which was have something in the centre, which I do not have. I had storm hostile objective, which I could not do because I only had 2 units, one over there and then one over there. I did discard a card in the hopes to get something else, but that was also null and void, so nothing happened there. And then on the challenger card, I had this one, which was attrition, which unfortunately says pivotal moment. That was to kill an enemy unit, which I have no means of doing. So the final score, Adam, can you remind me what it was?
It was 70-53.
Yeah, so there was a glimmer of hope right at the end. Had I got 2 baller secondary missions and a really good challenger card, then maybe I could have pulled it back a little bit. But yeah, no, the Custodes absolutely steamrolled the Templars. Really missing the 6-up Feel No Pain and the full suite of strats that Black Templars come
Adding
with.
to the internet rage.
Not rage, I mean,
Black
Templars are
Templar
still
rage.
cool, but yeah, they're definitely, for me, they don't play as nicely as I would like. And but we'll keep practicing, keep seeing what they can come up with. But thoughts on the game, Adam?
I mean, there's what's that in the end? 17 points in it in the end. 6 of those you got back
Through challenger
cards.
yeah.
So you wouldn't have had those. So that would have been a 23-point swing if you hadn't had those. So I think some of the challenger cards, and in certain games they can be quite big. They can affect a game because there is actually only at the end of the game there's only a 4-point difference in our primary scores. It's the secondaries where that game has won. And your quite incredible dice rolls.
They were poor. We chose to not keep them on the camera, and thankfully for a good reason, they were bad.
The last couple of turns were particularly bad. But yeah, I haven't played a huge amount of 40k in recent months, but I definitely enjoyed that game. So we've got a tournament coming up soon, so I'm sort of looking forward to that now. I think. I'm not really sure. I think you were a little bit unlucky with like the Redeemer just dying in one. You never really got to like overwatch with it because if that thing shoots a unit Custodes, it's pretty brutal.
It can. Yeah, Redeemers are excellent at picking up.
They're absolutely horrendous.
2 or 3 Custodes, maybe more if you're lucky. But yeah, it just wasn't the day for the Templars. But really fun game, and I really enjoyed it. And I'll just keep, like I said, I'll keep practicing with the Templars, see if I can make something more out of the glorious hero hammer that they do.
Also quite nice to play on GW layout table rather than the sort of standard ITT, ITC layout. So I quite like this terrain, to be fair. It gives something a little bit different to what we quite often play on. So
yeah, no, I like this one as well. It's got some nice lanes and it's got lots of staging areas. Yeah, so it's the one that they use this up at Warhammer World as well. So it's familiar. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to wrap up the game there. We've really enjoyed it. Hope you have too. And hopefully we'll see you at the next video. Thanks.
Cheers.